Hey YouTubers, it's Nygma here. I'm gonna give you my review for episode 15 of Gotham, the Scarecrow. So, starting with the recap, when Joe Crane targets another victim, Gordon and Bullock investigate his background and discover that he was a biology teacher whose wife died in a fire incident that he was too scared to rescue her from. Believing that fear is a human flaw, he harvested adrenal glands in order to use them to create a fear serum that makes people see their greatest fears, hoping that it will help them face and overcome them. Falcone tells Cobblepot to renovate Vicious Club as his own before speaking to Mooney about him. Mooney agrees to let Cobblepot live in exchange for having a judge placed in Mooney's pocket. James and Harvey track Crane down to his house, where after injecting his son Jonathan with a fear serum, he is killed in a gunfight. Jonathan is rushed to the hospital afterwards. Meanwhile, Fish Mooney is abducted by the mercenaries and taken to a rowdy prison-like area. Fish kills the leader of the prisoners named Mace and then takes his place upon finding out the prisoners are being harvested for organs. Elsewhere, Bruce goes on a hike that he and his father go on every year. Bruce ends up at the bottom of a hill and climbs back to the top with a sprained ankle. Once at the top, he meets Alfred and together the two sleep there overnight to watch the sun rise in the morning. At the opening of Cobblepot's nightclub, Oswald's Don Mooney arrives with his entourage and promises Cobblepot that once Falcone dies, he will kill him. At the hospital, the doctor says to Gordon that due to the amount of serum injected into him, Jonathan may never stop seeing his greatest fear, which is scarecrows. So overall, I'm giving this episode a 9.5. It was really a great setup for Jonathan Crane, Scarecrow. One of the best setups for Batman's future villains yet. Gotham hasn't really been doing a good job of doing this. Most of the villains they've introduced haven't gotten a good setup, or they haven't really introduced good characters, quality characters from Batman's rogues list. However, this episode is a very good example, and it didn't take one episode, it took 2 episodes, so I feel like this is necessary to have like a 2-episode, maybe 3-episode arc for such a big villain of Batman. In the episode, Joe Crane was creating the fear toxin to cure himself of fear. His fear was failure, as he stated in this episode and in last episode as well. We learned in this episode that his wife was upstairs in their house when a fire broke out and Crane failed to save her. Crane tried to cure his son of fear, but it didn't work out. Now Jonathan sees the thing he fears the most of all, which are scarecrows. So the way the show is setting up Crane is that he will eventually use his fear against the people of Gotham. He'll just start dressing up as a scarecrow and start tormenting those citizens, knowing that he can't get rid of his fear, so tormenting everyone else with their own fear will even the score. I want to say that the writers could bring back Jonathan Crane on the show, but that there could be a possibility that Jonathan Crane's character could get ruined. There's always a risk for any Batman's villain to be ruined, but the way Scarecrow has been presented so far is so good that I don't want the writers to jeopardize the character's quality. So if the writers want to bring Jonathan Crane back in the future season, they're going to have to be really confident in the story they're going to tell. So now to Easter egg. I usually don't find Easter eggs in Gotham, but in this episode I did find one. Oswald opened a nightclub titled Oswald's. I saw this as a reference to the Iceberg Lounge. In the comics, it's the Penguin's nightclub, and it's also a base of operations for his criminal activity. It was renamed the Iceberg Casino in the New 52. There could be a possibility that the club could be renamed at any point, at least when Penguin becomes the only crime boss in Gotham. You know, that just shows that he has reached his comic book persona. So, now to top 5 moments, starting with number 5, Fish kills Mace. I'm really not sure where Fish is right now, but it looks like she's on the path Oswald took in the beginning of the season. She's claiming power and regaining her status as a mob boss. Hopefully they'll explain that in the next episode where she is, what's going on with the prisoners, and why are they being harvested for their organs.
Hush now, baby. You talk too much or you'll make me mad.
Let's see. That's right at number 1. Don't call me baby. My name is Fish Mooney. I'm in charge now.
Number 4, Bruce and Alfred watch the sunrise. The hike Bruce took this episode was a traditional thing that he and his father did. Now that his father is gone, he just decided that it would be better for him to go on the hike by himself. Later on, he ends up falling over a cliff and climbs back to find Alfred expecting him. This was just an arc for Bruce and for Alfred that just further deepens the relationship, how Bruce lost his father and now Alfred serves as Bruce's fatherly figure. Number 3, the fear toxin is created. As gross as it was to see the whole process, it was very interesting to see the entire process play out on screen. Number 2, the birth of Scarecrow.
Jonathan's brain activity shows he's in a constant state of intense terror.
How long until this goes away?
Well, that's just the thing, Detective. We can't be certain it ever will. Imagine the thing you fear most in the world. Imagine that it's all you see. Every waking hour.
No, no, no!
And my number 1 moment, Oswald meets Nygma, or better yet, the Penguin meets the Riddler. This was just a hilarious scene showing these two characters who never have had scenes together. It's a lot more interesting because both of these characters become Batman enemies, and seeing them together on screen was just really great. Maybe someday when Nygma becomes the Riddler, he and Oswald can work together. I really want to see that kind of episode, a Riddler and Penguin team up. The funny thing about this scene is that it didn't really serve much to the plot. It was just a funny moment that lasted for a good 2-3 minutes. So I feel like the writers just wanted to add that scene in there just to wink at us that maybe they're working on a storyline in the future season where the Penguin and the Riddler team up.
Can I help you?
I don't think so. Can you?
What do you want?
What I want, the poor have, the rich need, and if you eat it, you'll die.
Are you asking me a riddle?
Do you like riddles?
No.
So do you give up?
Friend, look at me.
Nothing. The answer is nothing. The poor have it, the rich need it, and if you eat it...
Who are you?
Edward. Nygma. I know who you are.
Then you know that you're standing too close.
Did you know that male emperor penguins keep their eggs warm by balancing them on their feet? Isn't that neat?
Nice to meet you, sir. Keep moving.
Will do.
So that concludes this review for episode 15 of Gotham. What do you guys think? Did you like this episode? Leave me your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, I'll be doing reviews for all episodes of Gotham this season. Just subscribe to catch them all. Subscribe to my other channel while you're at it, Jedi Knight for 50. I do a lot of fandom vids there. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr for updates on Gotham, Star Wars Rebels, The Flash, and more. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.